Hey everybody, welcome to today's show. Welcome to Advocate Information Highway. I'm your host, Anthony Lorito-Duke, and we have a really important topic for today's show in which it is Congress is working on a new bill to fund DHS, which is the Department of Homeland Security. Again, that's DHS stands for the Department of Homeland Security. So let's get right into this. Um, we are out of the second government shutdown. Okay. That's on the Republicans' hands because they're the ones that are in control of Congress. So, but anyways, with this new bill that Congress is working on, um, basically they have a short period of time. They only have like a few days to work on this bill. That's for the deadline anyhow to fully fund DHS. And more than most likely, they're not going to meet that deadline, but hopefully that they do. Hopefully they do. But anyways, even if it goes past the deadline and stuff, um, certain funding was done last year for the critical programs like ICE, Border Patrol, um, uh, transportation security and stuff like that. There was funding set aside last year for these critical programs to continue, even if the funding for DHS lapses. Uh, and basically, um, the only programs that would shut down are the non-essential programs and stuff like that. And some workers are going to have to work without pay and stuff like that. But anyways, um, the Democrats just want certain things for them to be able to approve the funding for DHS, and that is, um, they want ICE agents to stop wearing masks. They want ICE agents to have warrants on them, and not just to go after anybody and everybody free willy, and they want body cameras for ICE agents. Okay. And um they want proper reform for ICE agents and for ICE agents to be properly retrained and stuff like that. So these things that Democrats are asking for are not bad things. These are actually really good things and that are really important things as well. So Republicans really need to get on board here and get their acts together and agree to these things. Seriously. And I've said it in a prior episode that if Congress really wants people to be more pro ICE per se, then have ICE agents go after these pro-Palestinian protesters, the ones that are against America and everything, and they're saying death to America and everything. Have them go after them. Okay. And deport the pro-Palestinian protesters that are not United States citizens, and for any pro-Palestinian protester that is a United States citizen, put their rear ends in a federal prison cell. Okay, I said that before, and I just said it again, and whatever. And and I've also said this: the Republicans should have auditors to go to the immigration courts and work on the backlog that the immigration courts have and find out all the backlog cases and then auditors to say to the immigration courts, listen, these are all your backlog cases. Get your acts together, get notices out to all these people, and tell them that they got 30 days or so to answer the courts, get them back into the courts and get their cases back, up to date and stuff like that, and so on and so forth. And then at the same time, pack, and I mean severely pack the immigration courts with immigration judges. And that way they'll have enough judges to deal with the backlog cases as well as current cases. And for anybody that does not answer the notices from the immigration courts, then have ICE go after those people with the warrants and stuff like that. Do things properly. There's a due process. Seriously. So, but anyways, uh, it would make things, to be done the right way. And yes, um, everything that the Democrats are asking for to fund DHS, it's not a bad thing. These are actually all proper good things to have, you know, and um, so Republicans need to grant the Democrats all these things, and it's not a lot of things. These are not hard things for Republicans to grant the Democrats. Seriously, and you know, the Republicans should just give the Democrats what they want for this, and then you can have the full funding for DHS and everything. So, like I said, I hope all this gets done before the deadline and stuff, because it can get done. It can get done. It's not an impossibility. It really isn't. It's not a difficult situation here. But you have hardline conservative Republicans, I should say, that are basically MAGA, and they don't want these things to be given to the Democrats and stuff like that. They don't want any of these things, to be put into the bill and stuff. And they just want ICE to go after anybody and everybody. Like, seriously, and that's just not right. There's due process here. There is due process. And the Republicans need to obey by that. Seriously, honestly. So again, I hope all this gets done before the deadline. And while we're on this topic, while we're on this topic, um, I want to say that this particular situation with the funding for DHS, it sounds awfully similar, awfully familiar. It sounds very similar to that of the Obamacare subsidy situation, you know, in which um, Republicans were saying that, oh, this can be resolved within a short period of time, or we can do that in another bill and stuff like that. And then Republicans didn't do nothing. And Obamacare subsidies is a very important topic to help a lot of people and hospitals and stuff like that. And Republicans screwed all that up. So this sounds awfully similar to that sort of situation. Like, short period of time to resolve an important situation. Republicans want funding for DHS. Hmm, sounds awfully similar. So right now the ball is in the Democrats' court to resolve this. So, hey, you never know. I do hope that this gets resolved pretty quickly and stuff like that. So, but anyways, I want to remind all my fans out there about my website, Advocate Information Highway. The link to there is AIHNY.com. Again, that's AIHNY.com. And you guys could check out all the pages on there. And so with that, take care, everybody. Bye.